outfit they said was too small, not fast enough. They called him Pre. A man who caused people to stop and say, I've never seen anyone run like that before. A runner who never paced himself, slowed down, or quit. Pre really wasn't a runner. He was a rebel who just so happened to run.
Altius Fortius. It means faster, higher, stronger. But it doesn't mean faster, higher, and stronger than those you compete against. It just means faster, higher, stronger. One runner brought this home to me. From the beginning, I tried to change him. And from the beginning, he tried not to change. He couldn't stand a crowd. Always wanted to race out front, like he was trying to get away from something. This was said by Bill Bowerman, the head track coach at the University of Oregon. Today, I would like to introduce to you the most famous man you have never heard of, Steve Prefontaine, more commonly known as Pre. That's a picture of Steve Prefontaine with his coach, Bill Bowerman. From the beginning, Pre showed great talent. In high school, his freshman and sophomore years, he was nothing to be looked at. It was his junior year that he really came into his own. Junior year, Pre went undefeated and won a state title. Senior year, Pre set a national record at the Corvallis Invite with a time of 8 minutes and 41 seconds. This was also another undefeated season. Pre won 2 more state titles this year for the mile and 2 mile. By the end of his senior year, there were roughly 35 to 40 colleges trying to recruit him. Pre's high school coach said that he didn't push Pre towards anyone's school, but simply asked him one question: what school do all the distance runners go to? It was well known that good runners go to the University of Oregon. Pre wanted to run for a coach that really wanted him. This is why he refused to go to U of O until he received a handwritten letter from Bill Bowerman himself. On May 1st, 1969, he signed his letter of intent. Pre won the NCAA men's cross-country championships 3 of his 4 years at U of O. In 1972, he set out to train for the Olympics. He then set the American record in the 5,000-meter race, which took him to the Summer Olympics in Munich. Unfortunately, he was unable to bring home a medal, and he finished 4th. They say that Pre was off his game in the 1972 Olympics because of the terrorist attacks, the Palestinian terrorist attacks on the Israeli wrestling team. It postponed the Olympics by 1 day, and all the athletes were really scared about it. So that's Pre in the Olympics. And then, at one point in time, Pre held 4 American records. He ran 8:18 in the 2 mile. He ran 12:51 in the 3 mile. 13:21 in the 5,000 meter, and 27:43 in the 10,000 meter. Steve Prefontaine is a legend. People who were cheering for other teams at track meets that Pre was competing would wear shirts that said "Stop Pre" on them and a stop sign. That's a shirt Pre. One of the people in the crowd tossed him one of the shirts and said "Put it on." He also popularized the term "chicken shit." Chicken shit is when you're running a race and you sit back, you let someone else do all the hard work of leading, and then in the last lap or so, you sprint past them for the first place finish. The way Pre ran his races was admirable. He liked to lead the whole way in an all-out race. I'm going to work so hard that it's a pure guts race at the end, and if it is, I'm the only one who can win. This is a famous quote said by Pre to describe the way he runs his races. Pre's most famous quote is to give anything less than your best is to sacrifice the gift. On May 30th, 1975, at the age of 24, Pre died in a car crash. He was driving a car, and for unknown reasons, he crashed into a rock wall, and he was crushed by his overturned car. He didn't die instantly, though. Someone nearby came to his aid, but had to leave to get help, and when he returned, Pre was dead. Overall, Pre won 120 of 153 races he ran. He also never lost a collegiate race at the University of Oregon. Since 1975, there's been an annual track event called the Pre Classic in honor of Steve Prefontaine. In his memory, there is a plaque located at the scene of the crash where Pre died. That's Pre's rock. It has a picture of Pre on it, and it reads, "For your dedication and loyalty to your principles and beliefs, for your love, warmth, and friendship, for your family and friends, you are missed by so many, and you will never be forgotten." There is also Pre's memorial. This is 10 memorial plaques set up along the Prefontaine Memorial Race Route. When Pre's high school track got redone, it was dedicated to Prefontaine in 2001. The Coos Art Museum in Coos Bay, Oregon, has a section dedicated to Pre. It contains medals he's won and a pair of spikes that he wore when he set the American record for the 5,000 meters at Hayward Field. Pre was also inducted into the Oregon Sports Hall of Fame in 1983 and inducted into the National Track and Field Hall of Fame in Upper Manhattan. Pre's story is so inspiring to all athletes, especially track and field athletes. There have been movies made to illustrate his life. Prefontaine, Without Limits, and the documentary Fire on the Track. Steve Prefontaine is such a powerful person that today Nike uses his spirit to advertise their products, just like the commercial I showed you at the beginning. This man lived a short life, but he accomplished so much. Not many people can say they held 4 American records by the time they were 24. Pre worked harder than everyone and had a passion for winning. I hope you all can appreciate the hard work and determination of an athlete like Steve Prefontaine. He said that it was, he's driving up that home from the car.
Ryan, what did you think?
I thought it was good. I liked the way that you came in with it. The video was very cool. The commercial, I thought that went very well with it. And then the way you started out the speech, I thought it was a good intro. The pictures, I wish, there was a couple things that I would have liked to see more. Like the field or whatever that was dedicated to him. I thought that was cool. And yeah, I thought it was a good speech.
Okay. Fair enough. I think you probably want to introduce the video just a little bit. I do like the video clip. I think it touches on the topic. I really feel like we got 3 different introductions on the subject at the beginning, because you got the picture, you got the video clip, you've got a quote that you're doing for us, and so it really feels like maybe a little bit of overkill. There ought to be a way to integrate those a little more effectively. I thought you had a very clear thesis statement for the presentation. There's not really a preview of the content that's going to come up. It's organized chronologically for the most part, so it's talking about the time period from when he started being effective as a runner in high school to his death, and you pretty much go through the sequence of events that occurred in that time period. There may be some other structure that you're using, but I couldn't tell what it was, and sometimes it felt like pieces of information were just streaming together, and I think if you gave it a little bit more structure, some of those ideas will make a little bit more sense or be more meaningful. Not that anything you included was unimportant. I thought it was all important. It just seems like some of it could be highlighted a little bit more to make it more useful and easier for people to digest or remember or hold on to. The visual materials are okay. After the video clip, nothing is quite as dynamic because you just have continuing pictures. I guess there is a little bit of poignancy with the picture at the end with the rock and his photo on it and the date on the rock. That all of that has some value to it. I kind of understand what Ryan's talking about, maybe being able to see the field and the memorials there. So it's perfectly satisfactory. It just doesn't seem like it adds that much. I think, for instance, if there were some more clips of his running style, always running in front, those